Appleblossom the Possum by Holly Goldberg Sloan. Chapter 14. It is late when Appleblossom opens her eyes the next night. She has slept in. Amlet is cleaning his whiskers and Antonio is grooming his ears. She hopes that they have forgotten about the harsh words of the night before, and she tries to sound cheerful when she says, "I hear the wind. That means fallen berries on the ground." Antonio shoots a look to Amlet and then gets right to the point. "Amlet and I were talking while you were asleep. We don't want you spending time around people." Appleblossom tries not to sound angry. "I'm glad that you're worried about me, but you don't need to be." Antonio stops cleaning his ears and sighs. "We do when you exercise poor judgment." Amlet looks confused. What does exercising have to do with this? Antonio pulls on Amlet's tail. It brings him back into line, and he tells his sister, "What we're saying is important. You need to listen." "Why does it feel like you're ganging up on me?" she answers. Antonio's voice is firm. "We're looking out for you. That's different." Appleblossom crosses her arms and holds them against her chest. "You're not the boss of me." Amlet snorts through his nose. "It sounds mean. Don't laugh at me, Amlet." He turns his deep chuckle into a cough. "I wasn't. I was clearing my throat of a hairball. I've been grooming." Appleblossom flattens her ears low to her skull. Likely story. With that, she squeezes past the two possums and heads out into the dark as she said, "I guess I understand why we're considered solitary animals." She hurries away from the wall, not giving them a chance to answer. She wants to get as far from Amlet and Antonio as she can. They don't understand her. Appleblossom continues running, and she doesn't look over her shoulder. But if she did, she would see that her brothers are following her. And if her feelings weren't so hurt, she would hear their rapid footsteps. Instead, she mutters to herself, "I don't care what they think." It doesn't take Appleblossom long to reach the monster's house. She sees that the red ball is resting in the grass, and the house is dark. So she figures all of the monsters must be asleep. She heads for the ivy-covered drain pipe that runs along the side of the house, and she starts to climb. Appleblossom's brothers huddle together as they watch her reach the top of the pipe and then disappear from view. Antonio shakes a fist in frustration. "She didn't listen to a word we said." At his side, Amlet is equally upset. "If she's trying to act like a rebel, she's succeeding." "Rebels need to have causes," Antonio mutters. Amlet adds, "And she's never even liked acting. She wants to just be herself." Antonio looks up the drain pipe. Well, maybe this is the real Appleblossom, and the other Appleblossom was just acting. He takes a moment to consider. That's the problem with being actors of the animal world. How are we supposed to know what's genuine and what's not? He takes hold of the vine that grips the drain pipe. We have no choice but to follow her. Amlet nods in agreement. No choice. With Amlet right behind him, Antonio works his way up the side of the house. He moves very quietly. When he reaches the roof, he peers over the lip of the gutter and sees his sister. She is sitting on the edge of the chimney, staring up at the stars. Into the pin-drop quiet, Antonio calls out, "What are you doing up here?" His voice startles Appleblossom. She is perched precariously on the edge of the chimney, and Antonio and Amlet can only watch helplessly as she jolts back, her feet finding nothing but air. They run to the brick smokestack, but it is too late. Appleblossom has disappeared into the darkness. Antonio and Amlet stand for a long moment in total shock, and then they fall into each other's arms. What has happened is not the fault of the stars, but it might be the fault of the Possum's brothers. Stay tuned for Appleblossom the Possum, Chapter 15.